Welcome to this next vlog post. And we're now into, I think this is like week 6 of the base cycle. So about another 6 weeks to go. So yeah, halfway through, all going well. So a little bit more explanation of what I'm doing at the moment. I'm kind of balancing two things at once. So really, the main base cycle activity that I'm doing is reintroducing running. And that is, as I've explained before, I'm working in heart rate zone 2, so just keeping it nice and slow at the moment, and I'm building my distance in which I'm able to do that, and sort of pace will build a bit over time as well. Alongside my weight training, what I'm also doing in this cycle, if you like, is what I like to call my sort of athletic assistance training. So I do this on top of the weight training I do. And it's working on muscles that are kind of underworked but have helped me a lot for speed, agility, endurance when running. So things like your tibius and your shin, tibialis anterior. I do raises for that. I do a different lunge to a strength lunge, so it looks a bit different. I work on my calves a lot as well, loosening my hips, lower back. So I've got a routine that I do twice weekly. That's on, as I say, that's on top of my weight training. So these are the two main activities that I'm doing for the base cycle to build up my athletic base, if you like. So I can go into these in more because I've not put any videos up yet of what I do in my sort of athletic assistance training, whatever you want to call it. So I will look to do more, or start doing that as I go forward as well. Now I'm doing a 4-day split of weight training with high volume. So this is actually, although I'm doing it in my base cycle, and it kind of does fit in because I was going to be doing some weight training anyway, but I'm just doing higher volume and higher intensity at this stage than I was intending to. I wasn't intending to increase that until the build cycle, which is coming up next. But I decided that I wanted to strip off some body fat ahead of going into next year's challenge. So when I go into the base cycle, I'll really be upping my running again. I won't really be watching calories within reason, but I won't be tracking them too closely. I will just be eating to fuel the sessions, so it'll be more eating for performance rather than any sort of body composition. But I thought it would be beneficial for me to go in there with a bit less body fat for really my power to weight ratio, which again I'll go into a bit more when I talk a bit more about the challenge. I know, again, I sound like I'm being mysterious about it. I'm not. I just want to finalise a couple of details first. But as I said before, I may start talking about it more soon anyway. I will when I get into the base. I am in the base cycle. When I get into the build cycle, because I'll be working on it more then anyway, so I'll talk about it more in a few weeks' time. But what else? What we covered recently? So looking at the volume, the push session has a lot of variations for both chest and shoulders. Not looked at too much shoulder stuff yet within these videos. A bit of push press. I did look at behind the neck press before, but that was really just for a demonstration. I'm not doing that in my actual workout at the moment. But the chest section has flat bench, decline bench and incline bench on the same session, which is something I've not done for a while. It's really sort of bodybuilder split, but I say it's just getting that volume high. So I've been doing that for I've not been doing this for the whole base cycle, just to add extra confusion. I've been doing it for the last 2 weeks, so the sort of final 8 weeks of the base cycle I'll be doing this. And yeah, I've dropped about 6 pounds in 2 weeks, so I'm happy with that. That is quite a bit. I'm not going to continue to lose 3 pounds per week for the next 6 weeks. That will slow down, but you usually get an initial jump with these things anyway. My calories are at a decent level, though I'm not struggling with the calories. The range ranges between 2,200 and 2,400, which for on a cut is a good amount. You know, I'm not going to be struggling with that. So yeah, that's what I'm mostly doing. So what specific exercises did we look at? We've kind of talked about chest. I looked at a lot of back since I last did these videos. The row, we did a dumbbell row, bent over row. which I love. I haven't actually done that exercise for a while, so it was good to give that a go again. And I've been playing around with different variations of that as well, which you can do, but again, because my volume's high, I've got multiple variations within my program anyway. But another one was using the bar instead of dumbbells and with an underhand grip to get some emphasis on the bicep as well. Bent over rows are great, really good exercise, work a lot of the back and core. But if you are unable, if you've got back issues, or you're unable to keep a flat back or straight back with keeping your core tight, then I would recommend using the bench. So either leaning on the bench to do a single arm row, or you could just lie flat on the bench on an inclined bench and do an incline row on there. Now these aren't necessarily just for regression, these are great exercises on their own, and I have some of these in my workout as well. So good exercises in their own right, but also you can use them if you need a bit more stability for your core, back, etc. So that was the main things we've been looking at. What else have we been looking at? Oh yeah, I put up a video yesterday of sort of shoulder strength exercise. So this actually came from Ross Edgley. Check out his page if you don't know who he is. He is an expert on shoulders and all things fitness, but a bit of shoulder strength stability work. But yeah, as I said, it wasn't fun. I said putting this up for a bit of fun wasn't fun. But it's a good test. It's a good test to see, first of all, if you can do it. If you can hang by one hand and then do the kettlebell press at the same time. But yeah, good challenge. Oh, we also looked at, that reminded me, we did pull-ups as well. Pull-ups and lat pull-down. I was trying to think, I'm sure I did more back. Yeah, we did. Pull-ups have been in my training for a long time. Great exercise for upper body strength, size, and I like to vary it. So this past week I did body weight and just got repped out the reps at a bit more pace, which is, I like to do that on other occasions. So I think this week then I'll switch it to strapping some weight on, and it'll be fewer reps, slower as well, and yeah, just great for building strength there. So I like to sort of change that about. But it works a lot of the upper body. The lat muscles are your main movers, but your biceps come in, traps, deltoids will get involved, serratus anterior gets involved in this, and so for this and the lat pull down, now quite often the serratus anterior can be a disengaged muscle, so it sits kind of just in here, just kind of at that bottom part of the shoulder blade. If that is disengaged, then that can really affect your shoulder movement for any sort of press movement and overhead movement. So getting that muscle engaged is key to helping you with with posture, shoulder stability, shoulder strength. A good test to find out if this muscle works for you or not is if you start off lie flat on the ground and with your thumbs pointing up, keep your arms straight, and then how far behind your head can you touch that thumb onto the floor whilst keeping your core tight. So core tight, lower back on the ground. Can you touch your thumb on the floor? If you can, try it with the thumb in. If you can still do that, try it with a flat palm. If you can do all three of these, the next level is to get yourself up against the wall and repeat those three things. Can you do these three things while standing, keeping your core tight, lower back against the wall, shoulder blades against the wall? Can you do that movement? And then the last level is, can you do I don't know what they call it, like kind of like an angel press or something, when you got your hands, so both hands would be like this against the wall, and can you press up again, keeping your core tight and against the wall without any sort of forward movement or arching or anything. That's the serrator anterior testing. If you can't do any of that, I would suggest improving that for your shoulder and upper body mobility, strength, etc. Cool. So I think that is everything. We looked at lat pull down already. We've already discussed why it's important and the proper technique for that. It is a popular exercise, but just quite often you see it done with different techniques. Really just want to keep chest up. You want to flex elbows, pulling the bar down to just above chest. You feel a slight stretch in your chest, squeezing your shoulder blades together and down. You'll see people swinging. You can lift a heavier weight if you swing, but it can put pressure into the rectus spine, into the lower back, which you wouldn't want. I think if you are experienced and know what you're doing, you might be okay, but it wouldn't be something I'd recommend someone starting out. So yeah, that's what we've covered so far, or this past week to 2 weeks, and what we're going to do going forward. So yeah, thank you once again. And again, if you get subscribing, like, share, comment, everything, all that kind of activity on the channel helps it grow. And that's what I want to do. I want to grow so that I can share this information with more people, so I can help athletes and non-athletes be a better version of themselves. That's what I'm aiming to do. That's my goal. So if you can help me achieve that, that would be much appreciated.